The void between stars held many secrets, but Commander Elena Torres never expected to find this one. The UEA's Horizon, Earth's most advanced deep space research vessel, hung silently in space as its sensors recorded something unprecedented, a biological signal unlike anything humanity had encountered before. "What exactly are we looking at, Dr. Kumar?" Elena asked, her eyes fixed on the main view screen where strange, ethereal patterns danced across the display. The ship's lead xenobiologist adjusted his holographic interface, dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of alien data. "They're like nothing we've ever seen, Commander. Living organisms that exist as pure energy matrices, maintaining cohesion through some kind of quantum-level consciousness. Their entire civilization appears to be a singular, massive neural network." The Horizon had been mapping the unexplored regions of the Carina Arm when they detected the unusual energy signatures. 3 days of careful approach had brought them to the edge of a binary star system, where they discovered the luminous beings of pure energy that had evolved beyond physical form. Their civilization was beautiful beyond imagination. Vast, crystalline-like structures of pure energy that pulsed with thought and consciousness. Each structure housed thousands of individual beings, all connected in a harmonious symphony of shared existence. But something was wrong. "Commander," Lieutenant Sarah Chen's voice cut through the reverent silence on the bridge. "Multiple vessels entering the system. Energy signatures match no known configuration." Elena straightened in her command chair as dark shapes appeared on the view screen. The vessels were massive, their hulls covered in some kind of light-absorbing material that made them look like holes in space itself. As she watched, the lead ship extended what appeared to be massive collection arrays. "They're targeting the luminous structures," Dr. Kumar reported, his voice tight with concern. "The arrays, they're designed to drain and store energy. They're not just attacking them, they're harvesting them." Elena's jaw clenched as she watched the first beam connect with a luminous structure. The beautiful pulsing light dimmed as thousands of conscious beings were literally drained away, their energy stored in massive containment cells aboard the dark ships. It wasn't just an attack, it was extinction. Humanity had spent centuries wondering if they would be seen as monsters by the galactic community. Earth was classified as a death world, a high-gravity planet that had forced its inhabitants to evolve into stronger, faster, more aggressive beings than most spacefaring species. They had worried their natural advantages would make them feared. But watching these raiders methodically harvest a peaceful species, Elena understood something fundamental about humanity's place in the cosmos. They weren't monsters. They were protectors. "Battle stations," she ordered, her voice calm but carrying an edge of steel that her crew knew well. "Dr. Kumar, establish contact with the luminous. Let them know help has arrived. Lieutenant Chen, power up all defensive systems and prepare firing solutions. Target their collection arrays first." The Horizon's crew moved with practiced efficiency, their natural human speed and reflexivity, gifts from their high-gravity home, allowing them to prepare for battle in seconds. They were about to show these raiders why evolution on a death world had its advantages. "Commander," Dr. Kumar called out, "I'm receiving direct communication from the luminous. They're sharing their history with me. Their entire civilization is built on the pursuit of knowledge and artistic expression. They've never developed weapons. They never needed them. Until now." Elena stood from her command chair, her enhanced muscles. Another gift from Earth, tensing for action. "Well, today they have us." She opened a ship-wide channel. "All personnel, this is your commander speaking. What we do in the next few minutes will define humanity's role in this galaxy. We are stronger than most species because our world demanded it. Today, we use that strength to protect those who cannot protect themselves." The Horizon's engines flared to life, its advanced shields shimmering with energy as it moved to intercept the raiders. The dark ships, apparently surprised by the newcomer, turned their collection arrays toward the Earth vessel. "They're attempting to drain our shields," Chen reported, a hint of satisfaction in her voice. But our quantum matrix is adapting. Their technology is specifically designed for harvesting energy-based life forms. Against our conventional shields and hull, they're barely effective. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Show them why you don't hunt the helpless when there's a Deathworlder around. All weapons target their collection arrays. Disable, don't destroy. I want prisoners to question. The Horizon moved with devastating efficiency, its human crew's quick reactions allowing them to outmaneuver the larger raider vessels. Precision strikes from their particle cannons systematically disabled the hostile ship's harvesting equipment, while their shields held firm against the specialized weapons. Throughout the battle, the Luminous watched, their energy forms pulsing with what Dr. Kumar translated as amazement and hope. They had never witnessed beings using strength to protect rather than destroy. When the last raider ship had been disabled, Elena ordered rescue teams to secure the survivors and science teams to assist any damaged luminous structures. As she watched her crew work, she received another transmission through Dr. Kumar. "Commander," the xenobiologist said, his voice filled with emotion. "The Luminous want you to know something. They say that in all their vast knowledge, in all their centuries of existence, they never understood why any species would evolve to be strong. Now they know. Strength isn't just for survival. It's for ensuring others can survive too." Elena looked out at the energy beings, now safe under the Horizon's protection. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as monsters, but as guardians. The death world that had forged them hadn't created killers. It had created protectors. But as she watched the rescue operations, Elena couldn't shake a nagging concern. The Raiders' technology was too advanced, too specialized. This wasn't a random attack. Something larger was at play. And she had a feeling this was just the beginning of a much bigger story. Dr. Kumar approached her station, his expression troubled. "Commander, you need to see this. We've completed initial scans of the Raider vessels. Their technology, it's not just advanced. It's desperate. These ships were cobbled together from multiple sources, jury-rigged with emergency repairs. Whoever these Raiders are, they're running from something." Elena nodded slowly, watching as another group of rescued Luminous pulsed with renewed energy. "Send a priority message to Earth Command. Tell them we've made first contact with 2 new species, and we may have just stumbled into the middle of a war no one knew was being fought." The stars seemed to shine a little dimmer as the Horizon maintained its protective position. Humanity's first major step into the galactic community had been as defenders of the weak. But as Elena studied the preliminary reports from the captured raiders, she realized they might have to be something more. Mediators, problem solvers, and perhaps the only species strong enough to face whatever threat had driven these raiders to such desperate measures. The Deathworld humans had arrived on the galactic stage, and they were about to show the cosmos exactly what that meant. The interrogation chamber aboard the UES Horizon wasn't designed to hold beings of such technological advancement. Commander Elena Torres watched through the observation window as Dr. Kumar attempted to communicate with one of the captured raiders. The alien's translucent skin shifted between shades of gray, a sign of what their xenobiologists believed to be extreme stress. "My people are dying." The raider captain's words came through the translation matrix, its voice carrying harmonics of desperation. "We call ourselves the Nomad. Once we had a home. A system of 12 worlds around a stable star. Now we have nothing but these ships and the need to survive." Elena exchanged glances with Lieutenant Chen, who stood beside her with arms crossed. The tactical officer's expression remained neutral, but her fingers drummed against her arm. A tell that Elena had learned meant Chen was processing complex tactical implications. "Tell me about your home system," Elena prompted, leaning closer to the communication panel. The Nomad captain's skin rippled with what seemed like grief. "Our star began to die. Not the natural death of stellar evolution. Something else. Something that consumed it from within, breaking down the very forces that kept it burning. We had decades of warning, but nowhere to go. The nearby systems were either uninhabitable or already occupied by species who refused us sanctuary. Dr. Kumar's instruments registered a spike in the aliens' neural patterns. The luminous energy. It's compatible with our biopreservation systems. We calculated that harvesting a small percentage of their population would power our generation ships for centuries, giving us time to find a new home. At the cost of their lives, Alina stated firmly. At the cost of some to save millions, the Nomad countered, its skin now a deep, stormy gray. We have children in stasis, entire generations preserved in the hope of finding a future. What would your species do, Commander, if faced with extinction? The question hung heavy in the air. Alina had read enough Earth history to know the uncomfortable answer. Humanity's own past was marked by desperate acts of survival, communities forced to make impossible choices in the face of disaster. Commander, Lieutenant Chen's voice cut through her thoughts. Long-range sensors are picking up something. Multiple signatures matching the Nomad ship's energy profiles. Much bigger fleet this time. Alina's enhanced muscles tensed instinctively. How many? At least 30 vessels. Largest ones are 3 times the size of our first contacts. The Nomad captain's skin paled to an almost transparent state. The preservation fleet. They carry what remains of our civilization. Over 2 million souls in stasis, and their systems are failing. The energy cells need to be replenished soon, or... Alina held up a hand, her mind racing with the implications. 2 million lives in the balance. The luminous, a peaceful species being harvested for their energy. And humanity, newly arrived on the galactic stage, caught between impossible choices. Dr. Kumar, she turned to her xenobiologist. You've been studying both species, the luminous energy and the Nomad preservation technology. Talk to me about alternatives. Kumar pulled up his research holographics, his fingers dancing through the data. The luminous exist as pure energy, their consciousness maintained through quantum coherence. The Nomad preservation technology uses similar quantum principles to sustain their people in stasis. There might be a way to create a symbiotic system rather than a parasitic one. Explain, Alina demanded, even as the tactical displays showed the approaching Nomad fleet growing closer. The luminous generate excess energy through their natural processes, like our bodies generate heat. With their cooperation, we might be able to modify the Nomad preservation systems to harvest only this excess energy. It would require significant technological adaptation, but it would mean both species could survive. Alina finished. She turned back to the Nomad captain. Would your people accept a solution that provides less energy but doesn't require killing? The alien skin swirled with complex patterns. If it would save our children, yes, but the preservation fleet won't listen. They've committed to this course. After watching so many die during our exodus, they believe hesitation means death. Alina straightened, her Deathworld-enhanced frame emanating the natural authority that evolution had granted her species. Then we make them listen. Lieutenant Chen, bring all weapons systems online. Dr. Kumar, establish contact with the luminous. We're going to need their help to demonstrate this alternative. Commander, Chen's voice carried a warning. Even with our technological advantage, we're severely outnumbered. Alina smiled, the expression carrying all the predatory confidence of a species evolved on one of the galaxy's most dangerous worlds. True, but we're not fighting to destroy them, Lieutenant. We're fighting to save them, and humanity has a long history of doing the impossible when that's the goal. She opened a shipwide channel. All hands, battle stations, but I want everyone clear on our mission here. We're not just protecting the luminous now. We're protecting everyone. These Nomad aren't our enemies. They're desperate people making desperate choices. Our job is to show them a better way. As the crew rushed to their stations, Alina received a direct communication from the luminous. Through Dr. Kumar's translation, their message was simple but profound. We understand now. True strength is not in the ability to take life, but in the wisdom to find ways to preserve it. Show us how to help save them. The stars seemed to shine brighter as the horizon prepared for its greatest challenge yet. Humanity was about to demonstrate that being a Deathworlder meant more than just being strong. It meant being strong enough to protect everyone, even those who appeared to be enemies. The preservation fleet drew closer, their massive ships casting long shadows across the starlit void. But they were about to learn what every predator on Earth had learned over millions of years of evolution. Sometimes the most dangerous thing in nature isn't the creature that can kill you. It's the creature that can save you. The Horizon's main laboratory had been transformed into an unprecedented collaboration space. Commander Elena Torres watched as humans, luminous energy projections, and the captured Nomad engineers worked together, their combined knowledge focused on a single goal: survival for all. Dr. Kumar stood at the center of a holographic maze of data, his fingers dancing through quantum formulae and energy conversion matrices. Next to him, a luminous consciousness pulsed in rhythmic patterns, its energy interfacing directly with the ship's computers. The Nomad engineers, their skin shifting through shades of blue, a color Elena had learned indicated intense concentration, made rapid adjustments to a prototype preservation pod. The theory is sound, Kumar explained, his eyes never leaving the data streams. The luminous naturally generate quantum-level energy through their thought processes. Like a star produces heat, they produce consciousness energy. We can modify the Nomad preservation systems to run on this excess energy alone. How long until the prototype is ready? Elena asked, watching the tactical display where the preservation fleet continued its steady approach. They had less than 6 hours before the fleet would be within weapons range. That's complicated, Kumar admitted. We can build it, but scaling the system to support millions in stasis will require resources we don't have. And more importantly, we need to prove it works without endangering either species. A soft chime indicated an incoming transmission. Lieutenant Chen's voice came through the comm system. Commander, the preservation fleet is responding to our hails. Their admiral wishes to speak with you. Elena squared her shoulders. Put them through to the lab. Let them see what we're working on. The holographic display shifted, revealing a Nomad figure larger than any they'd encountered. The admiral's skin was a deep, stormy purple, patterns of authority and age clear in its translucent flesh. Commander Torres, the admiral's voice carried both power and exhaustion. Our advanced scouts tell me you've disabled our harvesting ships, and now work with the energy beings we came to collect. Explain why we shouldn't consider this an act of war. Elena gestured to the prototype. Because we're finding a better way. One that doesn't require anyone to die. She motioned to Kumar, who began transmitting the technical data. The admiral's skin shifted through various colors as they absorbed the information. This is theoretically impressive, the admiral admitted. But theory won't save our people. We have 2 million souls in failing stasis chambers. We cannot gamble their lives on an untested solution. Then let us test it, Elena proposed. 1 pod. 1 volunteer from your stasis chambers. Let us demonstrate that this works. The admiral's skin darkened. And if it fails? Then you still have your fleet, and we'll have proven that we're trying to help, not hinder. Elena stepped closer to the hologram. Admiral, my species comes from what you would call a death world. Earth's gravity is higher, its predators fiercer, its environments more extreme than most life-bearing worlds. We evolved to be stronger, faster, more durable than most species. She paused, making sure she had the admiral's full attention. But the most important trait we developed wasn't physical strength. It was adaptability. The ability to find solutions where others see only problems. Let us show you what that means. The lab fell silent as the admiral considered. Finally, their skin shifted to a deep blue of decision. 1 pod. 1 volunteer. You have 4 hours to prove your concept, Commander. After that, we proceed with our original plan. As the transmission ended, Elena turned to her team. You heard the admiral. 4 hours to save 2 civilizations. The next 3 hours were a blur of activity. The Luminous provided direct energy transfers to help understand their natural output levels. The Nomad engineers made real-time modifications to their preservation technology. Human scientists, with their Deathworld-enhanced mental processing speed, worked to bridge the gaps between the two alien technologies. Kumar worked until his hands shook with exhaustion, but his eyes remained bright with purpose. "Commander," he called out finally. "It's ready." The prototype pod hummed with combined technologies. Inside, luminous energy flowed through modified Nomad circuits, creating a self-sustaining loop that could power the stasis systems indefinitely. The real brilliance, Kumar explained as they prepared for the test, isn't just in the energy conversion. The luminous consciousness energy actually stabilizes the quantum field that maintains the stasis effect. It's not just power, it's preservation on a fundamental level. The volunteer arrived from the preservation fleet, a young Nomad scientist who had been one of the first to enter stasis when their star began to die. As they prepared the pod, Alina received another transmission from the Luminous. "They say they never imagined their energy could create rather than just exist," Kumar translated. "They're calling it the Symphony of Survival, their consciousness energy harmonizing with Nomad preservation technology, conducted by human innovation." The pod activated. The volunteers' form shimmered as the stasis effect took hold, but this time the energy readings remained stable. No drain, no destruction, just a perfect balance of giving and receiving. When they transmitted the successful test results to the preservation fleet, the Admiral's response was immediate. Their skin had shifted to a color they'd never seen before, one that the translators said meant hope. "How quickly can this be implemented across our fleet?" the Admiral asked. Alina looked at her exhausted but triumphant team. "With the Luminous providing energy, the Nomad providing technology, and our people coordinating the conversion, we can have your first ship upgraded within a week. Full fleet conversion within 2 months. And our people will survive." "All of them," Alina confirmed. "And so will the Luminous. No more running, no more harvesting. Just cooperation." As the Admiral's image faded, Alina received one final message from the Luminous. "Your species evolved strength to survive your world. But you evolved wisdom to help others survive theirs. The galaxy will remember this." Alina watched as her human crew, the luminous energy beings, and the Nomad engineers continued their work, each bringing their unique strengths to the task. They had done more than find a solution. They had forged a path forward for 3 very different species to thrive together. But in the back of her mind, a question still lingered. What had caused the Nomad's star to die? The universe had just become a much more interesting place, and humanity's role in it was only beginning to unfold. A week into the fleet-wide conversion process, Commander Alina Torres stood in the Horizon's observation deck, watching teams of humans and luminous energy beings move between the massive Nomad ships. The space around them glowed with transferred energy and active quantum fields as the new preservation systems were installed one vessel at a time. "Progress report," she called out to her command staff gathered behind her. Dr. Kumar looked up from his datapad. "First ship is fully converted and stable. 2 million conscious energy pathways successfully integrated with their preservation matrices. The Luminous are. They're actually getting stronger through the process. The energy exchange is making both species more efficient." Lieutenant Chen's expression remained concerned. "But we're falling behind schedule. The remaining ship's stasis systems are degrading faster than our initial estimates. At the current rate, we'll lose at least 3 ships before we can complete their conversions." Alina's muscles tensed. Millions of lives still hung in the balance, and now time was becoming their enemy. But before she could respond, the ship's sensors blared to life. Multiple quantum distortions detected. Chen's fingers flew across her tactical display. Massive energy signatures. "Commander, something's coming through." The space before them twisted, reality itself seeming to bend as massive ships emerged from what appeared to be quantum tears in spacetime. Their hulls were black, as the void itself, covered in technology that made the Nomad ships look primitive by comparison. The Nomad Admiral's transmission came through immediately, their skin a pale gray of terror. The Voidborn. They found us. Talk to me, Alina demanded. Who are they? They're why we ran. The Admiral's voice shook. They didn't just attack our star. They weaponized it, turned its own quantum structure against itself. When we refused to surrender our worlds to them, they decided to eliminate us entirely. The new ships moved with impossible grace for their size, spreading out in an attack formation that would cut off any escape route. Their weapons powered up, energy readings going off the charts. All hands, battle stations. Alina's voice carried across all channels. Dr. Kumar, get the conversion teams back to the horizon. Lieutenant Chen, coordinate with the Nomad fleet. Any ship that can fight needs to form up on our position. But as their forces assembled, Alina realized the terrible math of their situation. Even with the Horizon's advanced technology and the remaining combat-capable Nomad ships, they were hopelessly outnumbered. The Voidborn ships carried weapons that could destabilize stars. What chance did they have? Then she felt it, a subtle vibration through the deck plates. The Luminous were communicating, not just with the humans, but with each other across the vast distance between ships. Through their connection to the new preservation systems, they were linking together, forming something unprecedented. Commander, Kumar's voice was filled with awe. The Luminous, they're synchronizing their consciousness energy with our shields. The quantum harmonics are. I've never seen anything like it. Alina watched as waves of pure energy began flowing between ships, connecting the Horizon, the Nomad vessels, and the Luminous themselves into a single vast network. Their combined energy signatures shifted and merged, creating patterns that defied conventional physics. The lead Voidborn ship fired, a beam of concentrated quantum disruption that should have torn through any known defense. Instead, it met a barrier of synchronized consciousness energy, luminous thought patterns reinforced by Nomad preservation technology, and human shield harmonics. The beam scattered, harmless. Impossible. The Voidborn commander's first transmission carried genuine surprise. Your shields should have failed. Alina allowed herself a grim smile. You're used to fighting species who stand alone. Welcome to a new way of doing things. She opened a channel to all ships. All forces, attack pattern Delta. The Luminous will coordinate our shield network. Nomad ships, concentrate fire on their quantum weapon ports. Horizon, prepare to execute close-range strikes on my mark. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. The Voidborn's technological superiority met an enemy they had never anticipated. 3 species fighting as one, each contributing their unique strengths. Human tactical innovation and quick reactions, Nomad determination and advanced drive systems, and luminous energy manipulation and consciousness coordination. Voidborn ships fell one by one, their weapons useless against the synchronized shield network. The Horizon moved like a predator among them, its human crews enhanced reflexes allowing them to exploit every weakness, every opening. But victory came at a cost. Even as the last Voidborn ship retreated, alarms blared across the fleet. The massive energy expenditure had accelerated the degradation of the unconverted preservation systems. They now had hours, not days, to save the remaining Nomad in stasis. The shield network, Kumar said suddenly. Commander, the quantum harmonics we established for the battle. We can repurpose them. Create a fleet-wide preservation field until we can complete the individual conversions. Alina looked out at their assembled ships, at the energy beings who had never fought before today, at the refugee species that had gone from enemies to allies. Do it. Let's finish what we started. As they worked to stabilize the remaining ships, Alina received a joint message from both the Luminous and Nomad leadership. We understand now why your species evolved as it did. Earth didn't just make you strong. It made you strong enough to help others become strong too. But as the immediate crisis passed, Alina's thoughts turned to the future. The Voidborn were still out there, still destroying stars and threatening entire civilizations. Humanity's role as protectors had just become vastly more important. They had won this battle through unity and innovation. But a greater war was coming, one that would test not just humanity's strength, but their ability to unite the galaxy against a threat to all life. Looking at the combined fleet around her, Alina knew they would be ready. After all, that's what Deathworlders did. They survived, they adapted, and they made sure others survived too. 3 months after the battle with the Voidborn, the space around the binary star system had transformed. Where once there had been only luminous energy structures, now a vast network of interconnected stations housed both luminous and nomad civilizations. The UEA's horizon held position at the center of this new community, its human crew coordinating the final phases of integration. Commander Alina Torres stood in her ready room, examining the latest reports with Earth Command displayed as holograms around her. The faces of humanity's leadership showed a mix of concern and anticipation. "Let me be clear," Admiral Chen spoke from Earth. "You're certain about the Voidborn's capabilities. They can actually weaponize stars." Alina nodded, pulling up the sensor data from their encounter. The Nomad records confirm it. The Voidborn have developed technology that can alter quantum fields at a stellar level. They don't just destroy stars. They convert them into weapons that tear apart space-time itself. "And they're expanding," another admiral added. "Reports are coming in from multiple sectors. More stars are showing signs of quantum destabilization." Alina moved to her viewport, watching as a group of luminous energy beings guided a Nomad ship into its new docking position. "But we found something they didn't expect. A way to fight them that they can't counter." She transmitted the battle data, showing how the combined consciousness energy shields had repelled the Voidborn's weapons. The luminous natural quantum field manipulation, the Nomad's preservation technology, and our own innovation. Together, they create something new, something stronger. "A compelling defense," Admiral Chen admitted. "But we're talking about a threat to the entire galaxy. Defense alone won't be enough." Alina smiled. "That's why we've been busy. Dr. Kumar, share our findings." The xenobiologist's hologram appeared, excitement clear in his expression. "The luminous Nomad integration isn't just working, it's evolving. Their combined quantum fields are generating new forms of energy we've never seen before. Energy that operates on the same principles as the Voidborn's stellar weapons, but with far more precision and control." He displayed a simulation showing the new energy patterns. "We're not just learning to defend against their weapons, we're learning to reverse their effects. Potentially even stabilize the stars they targeted." The Earth Command holograms erupted in discussion, but Alina held up her hand. "There's more. Lieutenant Chen, show them." The tactical officer's data appeared, displaying a map of known space with dozens of points highlighted. "These are species we've identified who are also under threat from the Voidborn. Most have technology or abilities that could contribute to our combined defense network. They just need someone to show them how to work together." "And you think that should be us?" Admiral Chen asked. "Humanity. We're newcomers to the galactic stage." "Exactly," Alina replied. "We're not bound by centuries of isolation like the Luminous, or desperate survival like the Nomad. We evolved on a world that taught us both strength and adaptability. We don't just see problems, we see possibilities." She gestured to the bustling activity outside her viewport. "Look at what we've achieved here. 3 months ago, these species were strangers at best, enemies at worst. Now they're building a future together. That's what humanity can offer the galaxy, not just protection, but connection." A new signal chimed, and Alina smiled. "Speaking of which, I believe the Luminous and Nomad leadership would like to address Earth Command directly." The holograms shifted, displaying both the ethereal patterns of the luminous consciousness and the shifting colors of the Nomad Admiral. Their joint message was translated simultaneously. We have watched your people closely these past months. You came from a world that should have made you conquerors, yet you choose to be protectors. You have the strength to stand alone, yet you teach others to stand together. The Voidborn believe that power comes from destroying stars. You have shown us that true power comes from helping them shine brighter. The Nomad Admiral's skin shifted to a new color, one that their databases now identified as representing unity. We propose an alliance, not just between our three species, but open to all who would stand against the darkness. The Luminous will provide their quantum manipulation. We will share our preservation technology and humanity. Humanity will do what it does best. Elena finished. We'll show the galaxy that being strong doesn't mean standing alone. We'll teach them how to fight together, how to survive together, how to thrive together. Earth Command sat in silence for a long moment before Admiral Chen spoke again. Commander Torres, how certain are you that we can succeed? The Voidborn have technology far beyond ours. Elena's response was immediate. They have better technology, but we have something they'll never understand. The strength that comes from protecting others. That's what Earth taught us, what made us who we are. We're not just Deathworlders anymore. We're life-bringers. The decision was unanimous. Earth Command authorized the formation of the Alliance, with the Horizon as its first joint command vessel. As the transmission ended, Elena received a private message from the Luminous. When we first sensed your approach, we feared meeting creatures evolved from such a harsh world. Now we understand. Your world didn't make you harsh. It made you strong enough to be gentle, wise enough to be kind, powerful enough to protect. Elena watched as more ships arrived in the system, representatives from other species who had heard about their victory over the Voidborn, seeking protection and offering alliance. The galaxy was changing, preparing for a war unlike any it had seen before. But as she observed her human crew working seamlessly alongside energy beings and reformed raiders, Elena knew they would prevail. Because the greatest weapon against those who would destroy stars wasn't better technology or stronger shields. It was the ability to bring people together, to take the strength Earth had given humanity, and use it not to dominate, but to defend. Not to stand alone, but to help others stand. The Voidborn sought to unmake stars. The Alliance would teach the galaxy how to make them shine brighter than ever before. And leading them would be the species that had evolved on a world of dangers and emerged not as conquerors, but as guardians. The Deathworlders who had learned that the greatest strength wasn't in taking life, but in preserving it. Humanity had found its place in the cosmos, and the stars themselves seemed to shine with new hope.